It was 4 years ago. Schools started their usual festive opening day ceremonies. Children were dressed in new clothes for the school year. Parents were excited to meet the teachers. Little did they know what the next 50 hours would bring. The attack by the mass gunmen began on the first day of classes and ended after 3 days, when Russian forces stormed the school after explosions were heard. The tragedy claimed 334 lives out of more than 1,200 hostages. Much has changed during these 4 years, especially for little Fatima Dzgoeva. This girl has learned to walk, eat and talk for the second time in her life. Her mother found her in the hospital 2 days after the siege ended. Fatima came under gunfire trying to escape. Her actions resulted in grave injuries and almost a year in a wheelchair. And her younger sister never made it home.
We're going to Germany to receive medical treatment. It's Red Cross that is sending us there as a part of the Beslan project.
2 schools were opened in the city and a special memorial to remember those who died in 2004. Still, as it gets closer to September, the streets of Beslan fall silent, a sign of the grief that still remains. After 4 years, the gaping holes in the remains of the school are still stuffed with bouquets of flowers. Large portraits of the victims, more than half of them children, are still hanging on the walls. However, many relatives of those caught up in the tragedy do not live in the city anymore. They flooded out of here with the hope of forgetting the horrors that they had seen. Valentina Tettova says many families have left the city over the last 4 years. For her, the most terrifying moment after the tragedy was when she couldn't find her son. He escaped right after the hospital, and she found him within the remains of the school. The boy was looking for things left behind by his dead friends. Now she says he will never be the same again.
As a mother, I don't feel any great joy about the schools. I realize there was a lot of support for our kids and for the parents. Obviously, we could never afford to build those schools ourselves, but I know how much we had to sacrifice for them.
Within the last days of August, the cemetery of Beslan is full with people. For some children, this is the only chance to stay close to their mothers or fathers who died protecting innocent children. For adults, this is a chance to visit their lost children and bring more toys that used to belong to their loved ones. Meanwhile, the first day of classes will start here only on the 5th of September, 4 days later than the rest of the country. Madin Kochno, RT, Beslan.